What's going on YouTube and cryptocurrency family? My name is Harry and I'm the Crypto Vet. Thank you for tuning back in. We're finally seeing some green in the markets, man. We've been fucking consolidating for like 3 fucking weeks and now we're seeing some green, but should we believe this or not? We're going to go over that here today. If you like the content, if you like this stuff, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I really appreciate all you guys' support. And again, thank you for everybody from all the other channels, for all the invitations and different things. I look forward to joining all of you guys, Crypto Jebb, Ben, the boy Crypto, and many others. So thank you guys so much. If you haven't already, follow me on Twitter at XRP Veterinarian. Links for Twitch, Discord, all the other goodies are going to be down below. But let's go ahead and get started here. If we head over to CoinMarketCap, we can see right now that our total market cap is about 1.75 trillion. Bitcoin dominance is actually dropping again, and why is it dropping if our price is going up? Well, main reason is alts are doing better than Bitcoin, and I'm going to pull up those charts here in just a second. If we look here, we can see we got some green. Dogecoin's down just a little bit, but this could be due to the Coinbase listing, and I also heard that Bybit is also going to be doing trading for Dogecoin. So usually we see a little bit of a sell-off, just like with Cardano when it was listed on Coinbase. Saw a big dump afterwards, sideways, and then boom, took off, right? So definitely something to keep an eye on with the Doge and everything else. We see ICP is coming up. I'm still $100 or $250 away from when I bought it, so I'm the smart one. I don't know why I had that money burning a hole in my pocket. It was like 1,300 bucks in Coinbase, and I was about to transfer it to something else, I don't remember, and I saw ICP, knew nothing about it, and my dumbass FOMO'd in and bought in at $422, and I bought 3. So, yep, I'm the idiot now. So, looks like I'm going to be sitting on that motherfucker for a while. But we got Filecoin, ICP, Solana, Graph, Theta Fuel. All of these are very good projects. HBAR, one of my favorites. And then we got the biggest losers. After some big gains here, we're getting minor corrections, no more than 3%. So, this is awesome. If we head over to Bitcoin dominance, we can see here that it hasn't changed much, but we are slowly trending down, right? So this is letting us know that Bitcoin doesn't have as much legs as we would expect, but the altcoins are actually stepping up their game and showing who's the boss. And we can see that on the left-hand side, we have just altcoins. On the right-hand side, we have total crypto market cap. This is Bitcoin, everything. And we can see here that we are actually contributing a little bit more, in a sense, just from the alts than we are from Bitcoin. Because you can see here, Bitcoin is slowly moving up towards that 20 daily moving average. But we can see that on the altcoins, we are breaking to the upside. We are right at this $1 trillion area. And if we are able to break through that, I definitely see us getting back up to 1.1 trillion very soon, and potentially getting way back up here to new highs at around 1.5. Now, personally, I do think by the end of this cycle, we will be pushing closer to 30 to 50 trillion in market cap for cryptos. And I know a lot of people are like, no fucking way. But if you think about like gold, 10 trillion, you've got real estate and other things, these are 10, 20 trillion dollar commodities in a sense, all to group together, right? So why would it be so weird for cryptocurrencies that can do even more than a lot of these other assets to not be worth as much, right? So for me, I definitely think that when we go into the future, we will be seeing much larger. So like right now we hit a trillion, like fuck yeah, then Bitcoin hit a trillion just by itself. Now we hit 2 trillion, right? What did we get up to? We got all the way up to almost 2.6 trillion total. That's a lot, right? But if the grand scheme of it, that's only 25% of what gold is, right? So there's so much room for this space to grow. This is very early in the cycle, in my opinion. I still think this is going to go until around December. And I talked about this chart yesterday, so if you didn't see that video, it's going to be up here somewhere, I think. And check that out. And I just go into way more detail about this. But we have our 4-year cycles here, December. Topped out actually at the end of November. Here we topped out at the end of December. So I'm pretty much guessing that we're a month behind, that we'd probably top out by the end of January. Just a guess. But the coolest thing I saw was if you go to May of the last year of every cycle, and I've drawn a green line here, if you go to the top of whatever May's monthly candle is and do a horizontal ray, we can see here that wherever this was, that was the new bottom in the next cycle. Go exactly to May, wherever that top was, draw a horizontal ray, that was the bottom for the next cycle. So we go to May, if we draw a top here, I'm just a doctor/idiot. It's not financial advice. I could be fucking wrong. But in my opinion, I think it's going to do stuff like this. Here we had a 70% drop. If we do another 70% drop from where we're at, we're going down to where nobody really likes to talk about. This is down to 20K. This is retesting. Where is it at? There we go. 20K, just below 20K, retesting previous all-time high. Still could be healthy, and we could still see a 600 or 700% increase here once we get above our current high of 65,000. Let's look back in 2013. After that crazy thing, we went up 650%. Once we broke this May line, going to 2017, let me get to the right point there, around 550%. So let's say we get above this one, and let's just go 500%. What does 500% put us at? That's putting us at $400,000 per Bitcoin. And I know that sounds absolutely crazy, but this is a currency, and right now this currency is backed against the US dollar, which is backed against not backed, sorry. It is paired against US dollar. The US dollar is constantly inflating, constantly being produced for stimulus, whatever the case, not sustainable. So in time, that inflation will be carried over into price, right? So that could be, we could have a $2 million Bitcoin. That sounds crazy right now, but what if, and say a year from now, $2 million is actually only worth $500,000, right? So that means it's only a $500,000 Bitcoin as far as value that we would anticipate to purchase, say, a house or any type of good. But when right now it's just compared to the dollars are standard now. So, if something was to replace that, let's say a new currency, I don't think CBDCs would be efficient enough to solve it. All you'd be doing is taking it from paper to a computer, not necessarily the best route. So, there's a lot of things that could happen here in the future, but overall, this is my favorite one, even better than some of my really long thought out fractals that do a lot of logs and things like that. This was like one of my simplest charts that I think actually delivers the most information and lets us know where we're at. Because, we have never actually seen a real bear trend for Bitcoin because we've set higher lows, we've set higher highs, and we're continuing, right? We literally have 3 little waves here, even though this is from 2012 until now, almost a decade's worth of information and data constricted into this tight little spot. But overall, I think that we are going to actually break out to the upside here, and we'll actually zoom in that in we'll just go back. Here we have Bitcoin on the daily. Here's that $65,000 point that I was telling you about. We all know we came down. In my opinion, I was considering this part here to be the bearish pennant. We broke to the downside, measured move to the downside. We met that right here with this $35,000 value that I currently have as that bearish target. We hit that, and now we're fighting all these moving averages as we actually enter into a bullish pattern. If I zoom this chart out, let me go to like a 2 hour or something, just to give better view. So this is where we had our Wyckoff accumulation. This is our preliminary support. This is where our selling climax is, our automatic rally, secondary test in phase B, secondary test in A, then secondary test in phase B. And then here we can bounce around. If we were to say drop to the downside, maybe touch that 30K again, I would call that phase C. Or if we were in a Wyckoff distribution, breaking below this 30 would show that that's when we continue to the downside. And then the next bottom would be where we have our accumulation phase. But as of right now, I told you guys I'm not going to be happy until we get above 42K, right? And my reason for that is because we have all of this resistance above, and we could blow right past that, who knows? But once we get up here, then I'll know that there's confidence that we could potentially have found the bottom. But right now, we're still in accumulation. We may have broken out of this little pattern here. You can see by the resistance here, we came up. We could potentially need to come back down another $1,000 and actually get to like this point of control here and retest this breakout before heading to the upside, which then we could form a double top and we could ride this down and we could stay between all of these support resistance lines for a long time, weeks, and during that time, we will probably see things like Ethereum absolutely take off. Back on January 1st, Ethereum was $747. If we go to Bitcoin on January 1st, somewhere right here, Bitcoin was right at 30K. And then over the next, 8 days, we went up a bunch. Let's go from here. You can see that Ethereum was very, very correlated with Bitcoin as Bitcoin was going up through all of these potentials to get higher price action. The reason I bring up Ethereum right now is because as we saw Bitcoin breaking up out of this pattern here, we can see that Ethereum is doing the exact same thing here. So we have Ethereum above our 20 daily, breaking out of this, what would be, in my opinion, a bear flag. But since we have a nice symmetrical triangle, yes, we did enter the pattern in a downtrend, which typically increases the odds to go to the downside. So let's just say rough numbers 60-40. But if we are in a bull trend, macro is bull trend, we've already been in 3 weeks of consolidation. We're oversold on many, many indicators. We do have bearish crosses on a lot of things, some bearish divergence. But then we also have all these macro things. So for this case, I'm pretty much just calling them 50-50. I think the fact that we're in a bull run kind of negates that little 10%. And that's just my own personal scoring system for how I judge whether or not these patterns are adequate or not. But we can see here that Ethereum is back into our big channel after our big sell-off. We're back into that channel. We followed the plan pretty much to a T, and I just think the next step is if we can get above this, this is at 3,000, this big even here, and we get some volume, confirm this breakout, and start riding in this channel again, I definitely think we'll see 33, 4,000, and potentially more very, very soon. But, you know, like this could be a very, very potential good trade for Ethereum. But remember, keep your stop losses tight. Bitcoin takes a shit. Ethereum, you know, we could still see a, you know, $1,000 Ethereum, $1,700 Ethereum. You know, $1,000 cheaper than what we're at right now. But we'll definitely keep an eye. I'm going to see how this daily candle closes here in about 3.5 hours. But for right now, things are looking pretty bullish across the board. Even if we look at Doge, we had the Coinbase and like I think Bybit's coming out either today or tomorrow. Doge listing. You know, a lot of people are still very, very determined for Doge, potential developments, Elon Musk. I don't even know what to say about it at this point. I don't think Elon Musk has Doge. I think he's teasing the SEC, and he loves dancing in the fire there with being able to say, you know, hey, what do you call it? Oh yeah, I like the Dogecoin. I like doing this, but you know they can't really come after him because at this point they don't have jurisdiction on that, and he's not actively saying he's buying. He's just saying he likes it, right? So I just feel like he's playing a game with the SEC right now. But we did have a little bit of a sell-off, even though a lot of other things are pumping. I think this is just the traders getting acquainted, liquidity filling up on this exchange, and you know usually on big established coins, new exchange, we see a drop. Usually on the little coins, like the shit coins, whatever you want to call it, when they get added to a new exchange, that they don't have any liquidity yet, right? They're trying to build it. So as they get to the new exchange, they get bought, and that's when we start to see the price actually go up whenever an exchange listing occurs. But most of the time, it's just like buy the rumor, sell the news. You buy before the exchange listing, sell on the exchange listing. Everybody else starts to panic. You can buy in a little bit lower, ride it out to the next one. So we're keeping an eye on Doge. If we can get above about 44, 45 cents, I can see us shooting right up to 62 very fast because not as much volume here, and we finally broke out from this resistance line here, and we're slowly overcoming resistance. Once we get above this one here, we'll be back above this all-time high before we rode up, and I think we can turn this previous support back into support, and we could potentially go from there. So we'll keep an eye on it. Looking at XRP, we're doing the exact same thing as Bitcoin. We're getting above this resistance here, which was this downtrending resistance all the way down to here. And, you know, of course, if we zoom in, we can see pretty much the same thing. And I have XRP drawn in a couple different ways. One at a different slope on this, and then I just have a flat horizontal ray across the top. And this is the same with that Wyckoff. You know, we come down, we find our preliminary support, right? And this support here, when we break through it, we can have our like selling climax secondary test. You know, it depends on where you want to draw. This could technically be the selling climax, automatic rally, but it works best if this is the secondary test because then you can have support ladder resistances all the way up until, you know, you get back above this point. So for XRP, if we just use this flat line, this puts us right at the 20 daily exponential moving average, and it gets us almost back into the pattern. So if we were to do a full measured move out of this pattern to the upside, we could be seeing $1.50 XRP really fast. That's almost a 50% move, you know, that could happen in the next day or so. And like, we know that right here, we had that 50% move in, what is that, within a day. So it's very, very possible, and that would be if we were to say break out anywhere above the $1.10. If we were to break to the downside, we've had little smaller, little micro patterns that I've been following. This reverse head and shoulders actually played out exactly to this point. This here is looking like it might be a little bit of a Bart Simpson pattern. So if we do break this support right here, I do expect us to at least come back down, you know, maybe something like that, which of course matches perfect with this slope. And going back to Bitcoin, if Bitcoin does come back down to retest this 37.5-ish area, well, we know XRP is going to go down, right? Well, you can almost estimate how far it'll go. So if we go from here to there, that's roughly a 3%. Usually with XRP, I can times that by about, I don't know, 2 or about 3 to 3.5. And whatever value that gives me is usually what percentage. So if this is about 9 to 10%, this is probably where we're going to come back down. So we're at 8.5% coming down to here. And of course, that is about 3 times more than what this drop was. And I've just been using that number to kind of predict when Bitcoin does drop, so that way I know where I can ladder my buys on XRP. But so right now, everything is coming right to this climax. We're at the end. We're either confirming on Bitcoin. We have broken out need to confirm, or maybe this is the confirmation and our lines are something like this, you know. Not quite sure, but I thought this fit the best with the most confirmations. So we could be dropping down and retesting that before going up, or if we look at this little pattern here, we could be breaking out of it now, and we could confirm and go to higher prices from here. So everything is just kind of waiting here, teetering on the edge, and you know, we're just going to see and wait what happens. I'm actually trying to sell off some of my stuff that's in my MetaMask wallet, just because, man, $1 XRP, like if you know something's going to double in price in the next week or two, maybe it only takes a month, like wouldn't you want to like put something into it because you know you can double it back? I don't know. That's just me, guys. So sorry this video was a little bit longer. I was trying to keep it 10 minutes, and here I am at fucking 17 minutes. But I wanted to just go over that. There's no real things that have changed yet. All the targets are still the same. All we're waiting for now is just to see what happens. I haven't changed anything. I'm not trading right now. You guys know where I stand when we get above $1.10. I'll be looking to snipe me some trades, and I'll be looking for longs and longs only. You know, if Bitcoin drops to the downside, don't feel like shorting, I'll just sit back and wait. I usually do good on one short, get greedy, lose about half of what I made on the first short on the second one, and then I sometimes go for a third and then barely make any profit on my shorts, or just a little, and then I'm, you know, puckering my asshole the whole time, hoping that that was indeed not the bottom and that we would go lower. So let me know your feedback, any questions, concerns, just let me know, guys, and I'll catch you guys